Good morning, guys. Welcome back to the Ahn Rho Project. This is the self-therapeutic multimedia project for me to solve the problems and challenges in my life, as well as a self-improvement process for me to reach the heights and goals of myself. This is the first of two live streams, and what we have, what you see is what you get. Take a look at the title and what we have before us on screen. The thumbnail itself captures pretty much all the stuff that's remaining here, continuing on from yesterday's live stream. Really just going off actually maybe about 3-4 days, really hunkering down, trying to clear off all the paperwork, invoices, books and guides, products, packaging, bags, just anything and everything related to even gifts and products related to the side business that I'm running that is all located in a big mess in region D3, which is here. If I move the camera up, this is D2 up here and D1 over here. So let's just kind of move around here. And that's what we've been trying to do, is clear this whole entire space. I want to provide an update actually compared to yesterday. Obviously I had if you take a look at the previous live stream, all the product down there has been moved up here. And so we're going to cover that as well, in addition to what we plan on doing with some of these things here, some makeshift things from the business that I can use, even though it's just really garbage, and also a little bit of forgotten stuff that had to do with my something I'm giving to my cousin, because he's also someone who has played a role in this, and I'm very glad that he helped me out. So 1, 2, 3, 4 different things at least here, even having to replenish one of the canisters there. So at least 5 sort of different things relating to this business. But once we are done this, it's just like the title says, it's going to be all clear. Now let's deep dive into a little bit of the introduction to the Ahn Rho Project, of course. And so let's just stand up a little bit. So the Ahn Rho Project, of course, is this self-therapeutic, self-improvement process, and I have many ways of describing it. The primary conceptual ways of describing the more abstract things involve subseries domains and analogies. Analogies are ways for me to communicate exactly what the Ahn Rho Project is to the general audience, to you watching right now, to the viewer, if anyone. And the domains of life are really domains of life, including finance, employment, volunteering, organizations, relationships, which may include co-workers and fellow volunteers, your manager, and so on and so forth, and as well as health, sleeping, exercise, all that kind of stuff. Just every single area of life, you can put it all together into one. Subseries, finally, so we covered domains and analogies. Subseries, we have some examples like the 1000 Days Till Death, or 1KD, and in this subseries called BDMP, where we cover the basics of just cleaning the room out. So these are subseries that usually capture various domains of life combined into one. They oftentimes result from a certain endeavor, a certain goal that I'm working on at the very moment that I am working on the Ahn Rho Project. Maybe 6 months ago I was working on clearing inventory. Then it'll be one called inventory catalog, and that was really actually one subseries as well. And so typically I would give more examples for the analogies and domains of life, but given that we have quite a bit of stuff to cover, there's no need for that anyways. In addition, I actually have to cover some waste material here in the second live stream, so you can stay tuned for that, as well as the very important take-home message and some work-related gift materials. So that's really the introduction here. I want to say that I'm working on something new as well for the Ahn Rho Project. Not only am I going to start considering all the conceptual, abstract information type components of the Ahn Rho Project, but also things that are physical. So physical, obvious material possessions I'm going to include in there, and I think I would have to include, the environment and my own body, so physiology and my residence. So in that case, I think the Ahn Rho Project at that point would start to, I will start to include within the Ahn Rho Project's introduction, not just subseries, domains, and analogies, and all the details inside each of those subseries or domains and analogies, but also the logistics, residency, and my body. So of course, me and the environment, that's really the main key hitter there. That's the physical stuff. So that would include a logistical review. That was one of the sub-series we used to have as well, aside from the other ones I listed, where we broke down the bedroom is into the house I'm renting, the little room that I'm renting out, basically into about 7 regions, which I'll to expand on. Um, one here, so that's G, E, F, D, this whole region, which I had to splinter into 4, D1 to D4. We have C, B, and A, which is the opposite area. So just going in that sort of counterclockwise fashion. So that would be sort of the breakdown of the residence of I guess the house that you can consider I'm living in. And then of course I have to consider the implications it has on my body. Just all of these abstract materials, but also organizational things, and that would involve volunteering, work, business, all these different organizations, even my own particular, I guess, startup type thing, all coming together, how it influences me in terms of sleep, exercise, fitness, and so on and so forth. So those all I guess, I will be working on a new introduction to the Ahn Rho Project, but I had to still update the very old one on the YouTube channel anyways. So why don't we just deep dive into the things that we're going to clear today. And like I said, yesterday's live stream, we left off here. All this stuff up here was actually down right on the floor. So it's an update. If you take a look, it's much cleaner now. There's still a long way to go. You can see that like I said, I've stacked all the products in some organized fashion now. I have the basics up here. I have the neurological and cardiovascular products here. And then of course, research and development sort of product materials for nutrition. And then we have up here on the side, I have the packaging materials sorted out and some more. These are the larger ones. These are more like meals, full meals in here. On the inside, there's a full meal replacement. So all the products and the boxes have been sorted out, some packaging. And of course, 2 days ago, if you recall, I did sort of all the paperwork. Now, that's a book, some guides, invoices, obviously things I didn't show too much confidential information. But needless to say, all that's here, and I still have to scan some. Now, yesterday, I'm just going to so we've covered an update of this, and that's great. So we're going to move it down here and say, here's something I missed yesterday. So if you recall, I did say there were a bunch of books, and I sorted them out about 2 days ago. I put them all into this bag. So you can see these books here. And I believe I mentioned that I purchased some of these, a lot of these, because obviously they're for my clients. There's at least 3 or 4 of them. They're also for my own learning. So one of these has to do with is one right here. And it's important that I mention this is because I'll get to it soon. But basically this bag that I covered yesterday, which by the way is actually a package for one of my relatives who, is helping me out with the business because he's an athlete, and so especially he hasn't been feeling all too healthy as of late because he's so busy with his work schedule. And so he's experimenting with this just as I am experimenting with this, and it's a lot of fun. It's very interesting, especially since I'm in biomedical research, and a lot of these things have a lot of scientific, I guess, endeavor that's been placed on it. So I covered this yesterday. There's at least 1 health pack and 2 little bottles here. I'm not going to go into detail, but one's a neurotropic and the other is specifically for cartilage, replenishing your cartilage. And he has some bonus material as well as a welcome kit. I have mentioned that. Now, all that kind of stuff is great, but I actually forgot to mention that this book here is something that I also want to give to him just, as a bonus, as well as this as well. I wanted him to basically be able to make his own information and not have to rely on me, because the happiest thing I can do for them is just for them to be able to, teach a man how to fish instead of just giving him one. So why don't I just give him an entire sort of textbook based on all the science and scientific developments. So with that being said, of course, this one is actually a very comprehensive guide comparing at least 1,600 different products across from various countries, numerous countries on supplementation. And so all of this kind of stuff is very useful for him, and he expressed a lot of interest in that himself. And so that's one book that I forgot to mention should really be put inside here. So it goes through all the research that's been done into traditional Chinese medicine as well as Western medicine with regards to nutritional vitamins and minerals and antioxidants and all that kind of jazz that I learned in university, 4th year and beyond. So I'm gonna put that in here. That's really supposed to be something that I covered in a previous live stream, but I didn't. See, I'm supposed to put that with his bag. Now this one as well, this is an introductory booklet that really teaches about the company, about its international, about its regulations, about all of the partnerships it has with various university institutions and so on and so forth, blah de da. Now at the back, and here also I'm supposed to put down some of the information I need. It's kind of like contact information for him, but I'm not going to actually show that, obviously. So I'll put that down here, slip it inside, and then that's basically his stuff. Okay, so with that being said, that's all going to be for him, and I forgot to put them together, and that's my bad. So the rest here obviously are just the books, and something I actually missed on the inside here is all the stuff that really I mentioned are my stuff, my own purchases. And I'm going to drag this out here. The fact is, I actually covered this on a previous live stream, maybe about, I think, 6 months at least, if not longer. And so I really managed to forget is I'm going to pull this bag over here and try to get rid of everything on the inside. We have an invoice, it seems. We also have a slip of this promotional item, okay? And I have to scan all these items, obviously, the invoice and the paperwork. It's a real shame that I forgot to mention that. And then we have even more things on the inside that I missed. This card, this brochure, very interesting kind of stuff. So just a whole bunch of items, and we have even more of these products here. So at the end of the day, what I should really be doing is just placing some of these up here, proglucamine, and I'll just sort these out later on my free time. Okay, and then there's one here as well, so Magnacal D. So there's a lot of stuff still to be done, and I woke up today. The odd thing was I wasn't really sure what I needed to get done, which is a shame because clearly I'm still supposed to be under pressure, feeling the overwhelming sensation of how much I have to get done. All that kind of stuff over there. And then on top of that, trying to get through all of this stuff here. Taking a look on the inside, this is all a bunch of gift materials I covered already, but I still haven't scanned it. I mean, those things I have scanned, I believe. I'm not sure. There's even a booklet from my team member who brought me into her as a business partner. So that kind of stuff is there. The book's all sorted out, but finally, the last thing here is all this kind of stuff here on the bottom, and I still haven't sorted out or gone to it. Again, this is the shampoo that yesterday I covered and stuff like that, but also we have even more health products here that I forgot to cover, digestive enzymes and so on and so forth. We even have an energy drink right here, as well as some fiber package, and I'm not sure what this is here. Yeah, so more just digestive stuff. It seems to be probiotic. So all that kind of stuff should be outside of this bag, and just putting this back in here, I should really bring that up to the top. We have a lot of these next to it, down here, especially here. There's this garbage that I'm supposed to use to cut my hair with. That's why the scissors are here. And then we have this empty package, which I finished already, so I can dispose of that or use it as sample for one of my clients. This bag on the inside still has some stuff. I need to cover the paperwork on the inside, but I'm running out of time. I have like 15 seconds. And just say that this book here, this stuff here, you can see all these empty plastic bags. I need to use them as well. I'll save that for next live stream, as well as this cartridge. So see you in about maybe 10 to 15 minutes when I start the second live stream, and we'll cover the work material as well.